Hi, everyone. My name is Ryan Bertucci. I'm with the Southern Maryland Office of Real Property Management, locally serving St. Mary's, Charles, and Calvert counties out of our physical offices in Lexington Park and Waldorf. But I want to talk about what we are seeing our savvy investors do in this market. This is the market where you can easily create a steady second flow of income with your home. Before I talk about this, I just want to make it clear I am not a CPA, loan officer, lawyer, or financial advisor. I am a licensed real estate agent in the state of Maryland and a property management professional that has rented over 750 homes throughout Southern Maryland. And I'm giving you some practical advice as to what I'm seeing in the market from my point of expertise. There are tax and legal things that are involved here. I recommend that you contact that professional, verify with your personal situation. But what I'm trying to do is give you some basic guidance and ideas as to what you can do to help build your wealth with these rental properties in this amazing market that we have right now. So the basic premise to create a second cash flow, you need to take in cash and lower expenses, which for real estate right now, it's the best thing you can do with rental properties. Because right now the rental rates are at all-time highs and interest rates are at all-time lows. So right now rental rates are about 20% above 2019. Right now homes that rented in Waldorf and St. Mary's County, Lexington Park area for $2,000 a month, back in 2019 or even early 2020, are now renting for $2,400. The more expensive the home, the more demand it is. 3, 4, 5 bedrooms, the more bedrooms, the more demand it is. We're seeing a real big shortage on these bigger, more expensive homes. 4 bedrooms, 2,500 square feet or higher, 20% increase at least on that. To find out how much your house is renting for, the comping software and the comping programs online, such as Zillow, Trulia, and Logos, they give you kind of like what's called a Zestimate or estimate of what they think your house will rent for. Take that number and then add at least 10 to 15% to it. And depending on the size of your home, the bigger the home, the more you can add to it. And that'll give you an accurate number as to what your house can rent for. Newer, more updated, bigger homes are in serious demand, and that's where we're seeing the biggest gains. So that's how you can increase your cash flow. The rental rates are through the roof. You can, if you bought the house a couple of years ago and, you have your mortgage is a fixed mortgage, you can cash flow it quite easily with the increase in rental rates. And that's the next thing I'm going to section into here is interest rates are still at an all-time low. Now is a good time to refinance your loan if possible, get it to a 3% interest rate or lower. Right now, somewhere in the 3s, mostly people are seeing. Get it down to lower that fixed expense, and that will help boost that cash flow. If your interest rate is higher than this, definitely it's time to refinance it. You can go to a website like RendingTree or Bankrate to get a general idea of what you can lower your interest rate to. And speak to a loan officer and make that happen. The next thing you need to consider is taxes. On the sale of a property, a lot of times there's taxable gains and things. Sometimes you're exempt from them depending on factors such as how long you've lived there and things like that. But there are tax benefits to owning a rental property. It's the same as owning a business. So any expense, cleaning, painting, property management, all those expenses come off the top. So you can use that to your advantage. I recommend that you talk to a CPA to consider these tax benefits. Many of them are misunderstood by homeowners, and a lot of times people are selling houses not realizing how it impacts them tax-wise, and how renting can actually be more beneficial in this way in some situations. In some situations, selling is more beneficial, but talk to your CPA and make sure that you get this right before you make these changes. Are different for every individual. Last expense is maintenance, repairs, tenant expenses. So, the best way to keep this low is to make sure you manage your property correctly, which is what we do. But if you decide to do it on your own, make sure you watch our videos and make sure you get it right. If you get your tenant screening right and you do the proper move-in and you set the proper rules, most of the time the tenant process goes pretty smooth. But if sometimes it doesn't. But if it doesn't, make sure that you know what you're doing. And that'll keep your expenses down. But in summary, right now, rental rates are high, so you can rent your house out for an extremely high rate. Mortgage rates are low, so you can lower your fixed expenses. There's different tax benefits and programs you can use when owning a rental property. This can give you monthly cash flow over years, and over the long term, your home should continue to appreciate, especially with all the inflation that we're seeing right now. I went to a conference last week and the main speaker was talking about that the value of houses isn't going up, just the flow of money in the economy. For the last year, the government printed $1 for every $4 in circulation. So we have a 20% increase in money supply, which is definitely contributing to these rates. It looks like they're going to continue to spend, which continue to drive these up. And your home is a hard physical asset. It's not on paper, something that's not going to go away. So you hold this house, no matter what happens with inflation, your house is going to continue to go up. Your house may go down in a year, it may go down in 2 years, but over 10 years, you're going to have a big gain. 5 to 10 years, your house is almost always, unless something crazy happens, going to be worth more just because of inflation. And there's no more land out there. The land is what it is. It's a finite resource. You have a hard physical asset that goes up with inflation in the high inflationary period. It's a good time to hold this investment, and get that steady cash flow in, figure it out right from the tax benefits, make sure you manage it properly, and you can create a hassle-free cash flow for yourself over the long term if you do it right. And right now is the time to do that, especially if you already own a home. Best time to do that. So that's pretty much what I have to say here. As I said, make sure you talk to your loan officer or CPA, get the different benefits of that. The best news is the market is at a place right now where you can create this new income flow with the home you already own. You can continue it for many, many years and hemorrhage off some of this inflation. So hope this was helpful. My name is Ryan with the Southern Maryland office of Real Property Management Gold. If you have any questions about this video or you have a property you want to talk about, feel free to reach out to our office. Leave a comment on this video and we'll reply. Thank you very much and have a good evening.